Hi, my name is Gary Daly with House Quest Realty, and we're on beautiful North Avenue Beach today on Mother's Day in sunny Chicago. Today's subject I wanted to address was, maybe I shouldn't call him a menace, but I call him a menace. The menace Zillow, and specifically regarding their appraisal methods. So I started out in 1984 as an appraiser, not a real estate agent. I didn't get my broker's license until 2 years later. So I was a high-ranking appraiser, and I was always, disappointed is maybe one word, when Zillow came out and they started doing their quote-unquote appraisals. Now, I don't really care that they do them, but it started affecting the real estate business in regards to, we would go out to a house someone wanted to sell, and we would measure, do the exact square footage of the house, take down the age of everything that the clients told us about, and come back. Street views, you do street views on each side to see what the street's location look like. Check the school district out, because some school districts sell for more and less, and work up an appraisal. Now, appraisal's not a total exact science, but it's pretty close. Whenever you're done with an appraisal, it has a margin of error to 3.5% either direction. Zillow, on average, from what I've seen, their margin of error is 20% or more. It's just pretty bad. Did an experiment a long time ago because I thought this was what they were doing, and it was proven correct. So when we go on a listing, obviously, we're not going to tell the seller what to do. It's their house. We're there to recommend and make suggestions. And some sellers, most sellers agree. There's not too much friction, but there are some sellers that want to try it for more. And of course, we don't own the house. We're not going to tell them they can't try it. They can do whatever they want. We always give the caveat, if it doesn't happen within, say, 2-3 weeks of being a brand new listing, that we'll have to readdress it and take a look at the original appraisal done and make the proper adjustment if they want to sell. And most people think that's fair and logical, and they'll do it. So when we put up the one that we believe is too high, we're hoping someone will pay more, but that we believe based on our professional appraisal is too high. And what you'll see happen is, if you punch up Zillow right away, you'll see that all of a sudden, magically, Zillow's appraised value of the house matches exactly what the asking price of the house is when it went into the MLS. So let's say it's one of these ones I just gave you an example of. In 2 to 3 weeks, there's no traffic or barely any traffic. That's the market letting you know that there's nothing wrong with the house. It's just that the price is higher than what the market will bear. And then we readdress it with the seller and put it at the original appraised value. And then usually a lot of people start coming and it sells. So we would print up what Zillow would say its appraised value was when we knew that it was priced too high. And then as soon as the sellers gave us permission to make the price change, we would make it. And then magically, Zillow's new appraisal was exactly what the new price was. So I guess my point to the general public, and I'm not trying to be, too harsh on Zillow, please don't go by what Zillow is saying is your current market value, because all they're doing is replicating, copying, and cloning what the price is when it goes into the multiple listing service. And you can't guarantee when you see that, especially when it comes up new, that that's the correct price, because many times the seller is experimenting with the number. Or, of course, there are some agents that may have got a little overzealous and overestimated the price. I don't want to totally blame it on the seller. And if it's not selling at that period of time, the adjustment's made. And once the adjustment's made, everything's good. The property gets good traffic, and it sells, and the client is satisfied, because at least in their minds, they made the attempt, and they're never going to sit there at night 6 weeks later or 2 years later and think, oh my God, I should have tried it at that other price. I think I got ripped off. You got to get it out of your system. So I understand that, but just don't go with what Zillow says when you're looking at your neighbors as appraised value, because many times that's just what the seller decided to ask, and it doesn't mean that that's what true market value is.